What I've learned from years of posting, oh gosh. For those of you guys who are new to the channel, hello, my name is Jasmine and I'm so glad to have you. I have been a full-time content creator for 6 years now. I started during COVID, okay? And by far the best decision I ever made for my life, first and foremost. I love it in this space. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I hated my 9 to 5, by the way. So I'm so glad that I'm no longer in that life. I've learned a lot of lessons about becoming a content creator and, these platforms, these algorithms, and building an online business. One of the very first lessons that I learned is it's going to take way longer than you expect. And actually, however much time you think it's going to take you to make whatever your goal is, whether it's 2,000 a month, 500 a month, 10,000 a month, whatever timeline you expect, go ahead and 5 or 10x that, because a lot of times we underestimate how much time it takes. I know I did. And by underestimating how much time it takes to build your platforms, you get frustrated. You start to second guess if what you're doing is even good enough. You compare yourself to other people. I know we've talked about that in other videos. And I'm here to tell you it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, especially now because so many people are aspiring content creators. Now, I don't have a lack mentality. I live in abundance, and I don't think that anything is oversaturated because there's never going to be another you, right? So, I don't think that people cannot win on social media today. But I will say that it's harder, meaning you do have to post more, you have to show up more, you have to be way more consistent than you used to have to be in order to win. And when I say win, I mean getting people to stick around through your videos, getting people to purchase your products, getting people to engage, comment, like, share, all of those things. It definitely takes more effort than it did before, especially because now, the economy is just a little bit different. But you can definitely still win at social media. So the biggest takeaway from that is however much time you thought it was going to take, go ahead and 10x that. Another lesson that I learned from posting content, and this is kind of tough. I can only speak for myself. Everyone around you in your personal life, whether it's friends or family, they may or may not support you in the way in which you want to be supported. For myself, I was looking for my friends and family to like my videos, comment, share, maybe buy one of my products, and that never happened. But then I would see them liking, commenting, and sharing other people's stuff. And these were people that they don't even know. Like telling Nicki Minaj happy birthday, sharing, Ari's launch of her makeup line, stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, well, dang, you don't even know them, but you know me, and you're not even giving me a fraction, a tenth of the support that you're giving someone else that you don't even know. And it's heartbreaking. I'm not going to sit here and say that your feelings aren't valid. You are allowed to feel how you want to feel. I am here to tell you that your biggest supporters may or may not come from people that you know. They didn't for me, right? And some content creators, I do believe their friends and family are their biggest supporters, and that's great for them. But there are also content creators who can agree that your biggest supporters will come from people that you don't know. And it doesn't mean that your friends and family are bad people. It just means that they're too close to you. So you will always be whatever version of you were when they first met you. They don't see your greatness in a way that other people see it. Kind of like, I don't know Beyonce, but I would imagine it's kind of like her daughter is her daughter. So Ivy, I think that's her name, Blue, she can't see how amazing her mom is because her mom is right there, right? Whereas you and me will look at Beyonce and be like, wow, she's amazing. Like, she's so successful. She's so beautiful. But her daughter doesn't see her that way because her daughter's right up under her every single day, right? I imagine it's the same thing, just in a different scale, right? sometimes people are just too close to you, so they don't see you as this creative being. They don't see you as a successful entrepreneur. They just see you as you. And that's just information. So then you decide what you want to do with it. Do you want to have friends who don't show up for you in the way in which you want to be supported, or do you not, right? You have to decide, how do you want to proceed with the friendship? And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what's best for you. But I will say that that was definitely a lesson that I had to learn, that people may not be supportive, that you know, and that's okay. They don't stop the show. You're still going to post. You're still going to show up every day. You're still going to sell your products. You're still going to make your money. You're still going to build your business, and you're still going to build your dreams. Okay, so don't let their lack of support stop you from being great. Okay, because like I said, there's 8 billion people in this world. So even if that support doesn't come from the people closest to you, I promise you it will come from the people who have never seen you before. So don't let it stop you. The very last lesson that I learned with posting content is you have to let go of ego. There is no room for ego in business. There is no room for pride in business, because let me tell you something about business and content. It will humble the hell out you, okay? You have got to get into a mindset of, I don't know it all. I will never know it all. And every single day, I'm willing to learn more than what I knew yesterday and implement what I've learned, okay? There's always something to learn. There's always something to improve on. And you may think you have it all figured out today, and next week, the algorithm has changed, and now you have to pivot. You have to change some things up and learn something new to get even better results, okay? You are not above the program. You cannot have ego. You cannot think that you're perfect as is and there's nothing for you to change. And a lot of times when I say change, I'm not necessarily just talking about content. You may have to change your content, sure, but I'm also talking about, you may have to change who you are. I know I did. Entrepreneurship is truly a spiritual journey. It is truly a self-development journey. I am nothing like who I used to be. I am way more disciplined. I am way more confident. I'm way more consistent. I have way more self-love and self-respect than I've ever had in my entire life. And I believe a lot of that came through being a content creator for so long, and also weight loss. And I've said that in other videos too. I lost 100 pounds. But you truly have to go on this journey that most people, for one, can't go with you. They don't know what you're experiencing. Like, people closest to you, they don't know what it's like to be a content creator if they've never created content consistently or as a full-time thing, right? You have to walk that walk alone. And that walk is scary because you can't see the results that you want in front of you. You're just walking on faith. You're just hoping that if you show up every day, if you put in your best effort, if you keep continuing to learn and grow, you're hoping that you will get to where you want to go, but you can't see it. That's very faith-based, right? It's going off of faith, and that takes a certain level of self-development that you may not have when you first get started. I know I didn't. So don't be afraid to walk the walk. Don't be afraid to take that path and take that journey. Just know that you can't be egotistical and you cannot be prideful. All that's going to have to, I'm telling you, these platforms will chew you up and spit you out if you let it. The comments, the lack of results, and the time frame in which you feel entitled. What I mean by that is, like I said earlier, you may think it might take 6 months to get to 1 million subscribers when in fact it takes 6 years, right? I'm just throwing out an example. Well, that process is humbling you because you're thinking one thing and reality is showing you something different. And if you have ego and pride and you don't remove that, well, you'll start to say things like, oh, it's the algorithm that doesn't like me, or it's the platform. It's, you know, you'll start to blame other things. Maybe it's just you. Maybe your content isn't as good as you think it is, or maybe you're not the version that you need to become in order to attract the things that you want. But you'll never see it that way. You'll never see it as room to get better and to grow if you are holding on to ego and pride. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you have to say. Also, you guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.